friends, it's Nancy, and we are back to do part 5 of the sewing themed junk journal craft along. So we're still working on the tea-dyed papers right now. Get your post-it notes out. So for the TN sized, we've got page 22, 23, 52, and 53. If you are doing a bigger size with 3 signatures or more, this will be page 7 of signature 1, page 8, page 17, and page 18. Okay, so I will start with this one. What I want to do with this one is nothing on this side, but I do want to add some lace here. So let me just grab some lace. And you can use anything, really. I think that might be a little too fancy schmancy. Let me see what else I have handy. Isn't it great when I come all prepared to do these things? Oh. I'm just going to tack that down with a little glue. Okay, so I'm going to sew that, and that will be all that we're doing on this page. So the same will happen here in the bigger size, and I'll show you that when I come back. All right, I've got that done. If you're stitching down your lace, you should stitch from the back so that this page looks a little neater and doesn't have the displacement of paper creating little eruptions on the back. So there's that. And I can move that over here. Okay, next up. For the TN size, this is 16, 17, 56, 57. Or if you're doing the bigger size, it's signature 2, page 7, page 8, 17, and 18. So for the first page, sorry, we're going to do a ruffle on this side. So I need some fabric. Hopefully I've got something in here I can use. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. That'll do. Nope. So the ruffle does not have to go the full length of the page. If you want to go the full length of the page, you certainly can. I'm tearing this fabric by pulling it against the blade of the scissor. lost a limb yet doing it this way. This is just when you can't tear a fabric, this makes it look raggedy. I tried to tear it first, but you saw how well that went. You know what? I'm not going to use that one. I want something that looks more fabric-y. Ooh. That's a fun ribbon. I better leave that out. That was, what you call it, Tim Holtz. Might as well tear another one for the other book while we're at it. All right, now you've seen this technique. We do this technique before. So I'm just doing a little glue. And I just tap it into the glue, then pick it up and give it a little ruffle. This is my tried and true method. I almost bought a ruffler for my machine. I saw one at a thrift store just before shutdown. I nearly did it. But I thought, you know what? This method for me is so much easier. I wouldn't have to switch out anything on my machine. It got a little crooked there. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but okay. So I will sew that, but not right now because I want to work on the other side as well. So on this side, I want to put a paper doll. So that could be a stamp. It could be an image that you've cut from a vintage sewing pattern. It could be a magazine image, or it could be a purchased paper doll. I thought I had some note here. Typical Nancy. Well, we'll just have to get another one. I think I'll cut her, because this is a pretty raggedy example, with the envelope all taped back together. I'll just sort of go around her head here. Okay, where's the good scissors? Not much exciting going on. Of course, as I film this, I'm a week behind you. This is May 5th, I think. But it's actually April 28th as I film this, I think. Yep. So says my laptop. My daughter-in-law is currently in the hospital with COVID. She's doing better, but not all that great without oxygen. So they're trying to wean her off the oxygen. Hopefully she'll be able to go home. Because my son is home by himself and the cats. I talked to him this morning for a bit. His head looks too heavy for his neck to hold up. Apparently contact tracers have determined that they were exposed at a restaurant on the 17th of April. So here we are 11 days later. And the province, this is in Nova Scotia, the province has announced that they are in full lockdown now. Because the numbers are just getting up there. Not as high as we have here in Ontario, of course, but it is a much smaller province. I'm just going to take this little white spot out under her arm. It's so small, it's not worth getting my glass mat out for. All right. So I'm going to pause while I sew the ruffle, and I will complete the bigger size journal page at the same time. Okay, we've got this one done. And pull some threads there. That one done. So moving on. We are doing page 10, 11, 64, and 65 if you're doing the TN size. Signature 2, page 3, page 4, page 21, and page 22 if you are doing the bigger size. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to move these. So we're going to make a fabric flip at the top. Let me grab some fabric here. I like that. And maybe something pink. It works for me. I'm gonna get my pinking shears, I think, and cut this one. So this is about 2.5 inches wide. And like that. And this one's about 1.5 inches, I guess. Okay, just going to tack it down with a little bit of glue stick. Okay, I'm going to stitch that, but we'll do some other stuff first. Okay. On this side, what we need is a piece of ephemera, something on the longish sort of. Not super big. I think I'll use a piece of this. That's not very square. I'm just no good at cutting. I know there's geniuses out there who can eyeball it and do a great job. That's not me. I'm going to glue a little bit of card just to firm it up a bit. And you can certainly use anything as ephemera if you have a little image, a little piece of the back of a pattern envelope. So that's going to go right at the top. Now, I'm going to choose a piece of scrap paper. I think I want it like sort of a cardstock weight. Let me just see what I got in here. That doesn't match very good, does it? I think I'll go with that one. I'll just square this up to make it well square. And I'm going to use a piece of vellum or acetate. I think that looks good. And just going to glue that to the front of the tag. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to check and make sure I've got this right. Yeah, looks like I do. All right, good job, Nance. Okay, so I will be just tacking this down sort of here. Whoops. And then, I will stitch across here, and I will stitch around the vellum on this, and then that will be held in like that. Okay, if you want to add something here, maybe, for example, I don't think I want anything from there. But if you wanted to like fussy cut out one of these little dresses, or you know, maybe the pattern number or something. Maybe, I'll think about that. But I'm going to take a pause right now in order to do the stitching, and I shall return. Okay, so I did the stitching, and actually I did the stitching from this side and I went all the way across. Just did some straight stitching around the vellum and added a little piece of fabric, a little cut out from a sewing pattern, and a little fussy cut from a sewing pattern. So this can be journaled on the back, but you can still see the packaging. You could also tuck a little photo in there or something else. So that's that one. In the bigger size, I just swapped out the fabrics, and for the pocket, I used a vintage wrapper from some elastic, and I used construction instructions from a sewing pattern and put on some lace and zigzagged around that, and that's that. Okay, so we have I think one more page of the tea dyed paper. Are we going to be able to do it in 5 minutes? We are definitely not going to be able to do this in 5 minutes. So come back tomorrow. We'll do another craft along. Take care.